Hey y'all, today I want to share with you a little bit of my collaging process. So what I have here is I've got two small canvases that I have already collaged. The background has been collaged on it. What I'm gonna do now is collage these little cut pieces of paper that I have ready to go. So I just wanted to show you a couple of just tips, I guess, for collaging. Like I've got little tiny pieces. So let me show you some of the things that I have. I've got this, this is called a pick me up. And what it is it's sticky. So it allows you to pick up these tiny pieces with ease, because like your fingers would struggle to pick up this teeny tiny stuff. So I got this like at the craft store in the scrapbooking, paper crafting section is where you find these pick-me-up, I don't know what to call it, a pin, a tool, whatever. And it actually has, this is interesting because it can help you move and place things. This one can help you pick up items. So super, super nifty item. If you don't have that and you don't feel like, getting another tool or another thing, this is a kneaded eraser and it will do the same exact thing. Just, shape it to where it is a shape that you would like that can pick up the pieces. I mean, it does exactly the same because it's sticky, but I shouldn't even say sticky. It's really grippy. It grips. It's because it's not sticky. It's grippy. So this is another like go-to tool that you could use for collage. And of course, tweezers are good. This just helps you grab things. Let's say the surface was wet and you don't feel like getting your fingers all, you can just use the tweezers to grab as well. And this is just regular personal care tweezers from, the drugstore. So what I use to glue my paper down is matte medium. This is a really old bottle, y'all, that I keep refilling. You can tell it's old because this was like only $4 and this would never be $4 today. This is actually my travel bottle. So I just buy matte medium in big jugs and refill this, little guy. You know what I'm talking about. So, but just general matte medium. I like Liquitex and I like Golden. Those are my kind of go-to brands. And that's it tool-wise. Just a cruddy brush. This brush used to be nice and squared, and I have used it so much that it is just like trashed. But it's perfect for this kind of thing because I will do a lot of like, scrubbing around. So sometimes you gotta remove stuff. A lot of times I will take a photograph first if I think I won't remember where pieces go, and I'll just have that, available for me to see. So I'm just gonna do what I normally do, which is just take, and a lot of times I will leave the pieces on the table where I would want them to go, if that makes sense. So you obviously can use like gloss medium or whatever. I like matte medium. I like matte medium because I like matte. Most of the time I will glaze, not glaze, but varnish. Varnish is the word, not glaze. I will varnish my stuff in gloss sometimes. Most of the time though, getting these rainbows down can be tricky, which is why I am like, you see me constantly adjusting. What I'm trying to do is get the edges right at the edge, because I don't want to have to trim it. It's like I've already trimmed it, the rainbow. Don't want to have to trim it again. But you know what? Sometimes I give up. Like I'm going to give up right now. And I'm going to trim this off. And what I'm going to do, yes, it is wet, but my scissors can handle it. And you just got to get it off your finger. So this one, I want it a little closer. So you do have time with matte medium. You've got time to shimmy things around. And when you do that, you do want to add more. Just work with some more. All right, so I'm just lifting. Oh, it does. It gets a little, it can get a little unruly. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, it shifted again. Shifted when I didn't want it to shift. And I'm gonna have to chop this end, which is totally fine. When you lay down a rainbow, shifted again. Did y'all see that? All right, so it's good you're kind of seeing this process. All right, I've got it smooth. I'm clipping this, getting it off my finger. Okay, there was my other one. There we are. All right, I'm good. So what I do, I am just, I'm feely, touchy-feely with my art, and so I want to feel it. So I just run my fingers. Now, I've got a little matte medium on my fingers, so I'm actually just gonna use that. I'm laying down matte medium, and I'll put a little on the back. Sometimes I put it on the back of the paper, sometimes I don't. This is actually a thicker piece of paper, so it is going to participate a little better. This purple piece that I laid down, was it graph paper? It might have been graph. I can't remember if there was graph on the back of this. The graph paper, so some papers are super thin that I work with. Some are really thick. Obviously, this one went down really easy. The paper was thicker. It wasn't as wet. This one, because I had shimmied it and it was thin, it's gonna fight you a tiny bit more than maybe what you would like, but we're good. We're down, we're good. Okay. Now what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the circle next, the sun, and I'm laying down matte medium where I'm thinking that it's gonna land. Putting a little on the back of the paper. This is one of those thinner papers. And I had it creased down here to just remind me of placement. And this is good. I am gonna let this one fold over. And what I continue to, you just wanna keep the matte medium smooth everywhere. Even though it dries matte, if it's too thick, you will see those brush strokes. And I kind of want the brush strokes to sort of disappear. Now, when you fold over, sometimes it gets a little wrinkly because remember, the paper stretches when we wet it. So you may have some adjustments to make, or you just keep smoothing out the paper, kind of stretching it out, stretching out those wrinkles. I can still see them, but they're on the side, so not that big of a deal. And I think I just got them all down. And that's the key with collage, is just you work it till you are satisfied. And the paper, it's definitely movable, kind of forgivable for a little while. This is a super thin piece of paper. It is a piece of deli, so it's gonna go down really nicely. I love collaging with deli. The whole background was done with deli, and I do have a video where I show you how I did the background, so I will link that one at the end of this video. All right, let me grab my towel. I need my little hand towel. My fingers are getting a little too covered with matte medium. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to turn to this rainbow, which is going to go over here. And this is a thicker piece, so I won't have to fight it. And it will go right where I want it. Perfect. The thicker paper is definitely easier to work with, but the thin paper is also just really beautiful when it goes down, especially if it's one of the, like this is translucent. I just like working with a variety of papers. Okay, so matte medium on my finger, so I'm just using my sticky finger to pick up the circle and smoothing around. And what I do also, the reason I kind of rub and smooth, is I'm also working out any clumps of matte medium that may be under the paper. I'm you know, working that out. Let's see, this guy goes here. And because I want, let's see, this is a thicker sheet. I want my paper to be as smooth and flat as possible. So that's why I give it a lot of care when I put it down, because I want the smoothness. I want it to be flat. I don't want the wrinkles. And sometimes wrinkles happen. I think this one has a wrinkle or two. It has, look here, a little wrinkle right there. Frustrating, but you know, it's a work of art and it doesn't have to be perfect. I feel like the imperfections kind of show the handmadeness, the hand quality of the piece. Okay, done. Here we are. Ooh, sorry about that. So here we are, still drying. I will probably gloss glaze this one at this point, is what I'm thinking. I'm just talking out loud, kind of telling you my thoughts. Okay, so let me switch, because I do want to show you, just give you a little sampling of how I deal with these teensy things. So I'm just going to pull these off and work with, I'm actually just going to work with the middle one for now. So I know I want them, you know, in this turquoise area. So I'm just going to lay some of the matte medium down, lay down the leaf, and I'm just eyeballing to see if it's in the center, and it is, or it seems to be to me. Just tweaking it. Notice I haven't reached for any of my tools yet, and that's mostly because I don't like working with gloves. I like to feel. But if you do, so let me show you how let's just say you don't want to work with your bare fingers. Here's how you can use the tool. Although I really just I don't see how you could work without pressing down, but maybe you like to wear gloves. I just don't like gloves. So just using the little eraser, putting a tiny bit on the back side, and then pressing them down. So easy, so fun, so rewarding. I love collage. And now gingerly with this paintbrush am I, you know, just glazing over, because if I brush too much, I risk moving those pieces. So that's it, y'all. That's just what I wanted to show you. You could, so tools wise, you know, I could absolutely, you know, use the tweezers sometimes, and sometimes I do. It just depends on how sticky this hand has gotten, to be quite honest with you. And if I do use the tweezers, a lot of times I will, that you saw, that's just a different way of getting matte medium onto the back. So there's really, I feel like there is no right or wrong way to, and here you can see I'm just squeegeeing out excess matte medium. I definitely feel there is no right or wrong way. So here's me just using my sticky finger, which if you were working with gloves, you could still do the same. You could actually pick it up with the paintbrush, use the paintbrush as the placement. And so I will just do the one more, shaking those off. Here, pick this up. It is funny, the finger is who needs tools when you have a sticky finger, right? But the tools are fun, and the tools do come in handy. So here we go, last little one. I'll use the brush, brush, brush. So cute. Blue peas. I think I'm gonna call this one blue peas. I don't know though. Sometimes it's, you know, naming art is really hard. And a lot of times I'll show pieces to my friends and family and I'll let them name my art, which can be so much fun to just see what someone else thinks of it. So if you have trouble naming your pieces, show it to someone else and say, hey, what would you call this? And see what they say. They might surprise you. You might like it. So there you have it. Easy way to collage little tiny things, just working with small stuff. Tools if you feel you need them, or sticky fingers. So I hope this has helped you, inspired you. If you've never tried collage, I hope this gives you a little taste for it and makes you want to give it a try. So happy creating, y'all.